Okay, the administrative reload on the Kalashnikov series of rifles, whether you're running a traditional rifle like this or an enhanced version, your admin reload should be the same. The only considerations you need to take in is where I call the shooter check portion. And my shooter check for like a traditional is basically checking my weapon system, making sure all my accessories are working, whether it's a sling system, checking my battle sight 0, making sure that's good, my front sight, making sure that's good, nothing's been moved, nothing's loose. I'll do a quick check. If you're running optics or lights or lasers at this point, you would turn everything on, set everything up, and then you're good to go and ready to now go into your admin reload process. So here is the process. First thing I want to do, taking the safety off, making sure it is an unloaded and show clear gun, okay? With the safety off, what I'm going to do is break the gun down into my workspace. Workspace meaning that the stock rests on the inside of my forearm and on my rib cage. So I've got leverage on the gun. I can work with the gun, I can charge the gun any different direction, and it's creating a leverage point. At that point, what I'm going to do is load the magazine. Now there's a couple different press checks that you can do with an AK-47. Considering that it's a double stack magazine, the top round being on the right, we can kind of do what we do with ARs. We can load the magazine, okay? Now notice what I did with my knuckles there. We're going to talk about this more later, but index the knuckles to the bottom of the forearm, rotate the magazine into the well. Now we charge the gun appropriately. Charge it with inertia. Let the bolt go home with all the force that it can go with the spring system in the gun. At this point, I could press check the magazine by doing this. The round is now on the left side, which tells me that there's a round in the chamber. I don't need to really mess with the gun at this point. I can put the safety on and I'm ready to go. Okay, but now let's come back up. If I didn't want to do that type of press check, the left-right press check as I call it, I would use my fire control hand to come up with my index finger, look and see the brass. Throw it forward. When you're ready to go into battery, then your safety would come on. Now, if it's a nighttime press check, this is why I do these two, because they're consistent. I'll use my index or my middle finger. I'll pull back and I'll use one of those fingers to press on the round, and you can see that round right there and I could feel it. So at nighttime, this is your proper press check. I push the bolt home, make sure it's in battery, safety on with a good safety sweep, and then you're finished with the administrative reload. Now, when you're done shooting, or you get an unload and show clear from an instructor or on a range, first thing we're going to do is take the source ammunition out. I'm going to stow that source away somewhere. At that point, I'm going to take the safety off with the muzzle pointed in a safe direction, finger straighten off the trigger, and watch the round come out of the chamber. Now, I can see visually right here that there's no round in the chamber and there's obviously no magazine inserted. So at that point, I would just verify, make sure, rack it a couple times, and I'm responsible for my weapon system. So again, I'm making sure that it's unloaded. If you have somebody else that you want to verify with as a buddy or something, hey, it's value added, but make sure you're responsible for the condition of your weapon. So that's the admin reload and the administrative unload for the AK-47 or the AK Kalashnikov series of rifles.